Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. So today I'm painting an easy underwater scene full of colorful fish using a few fun watercolor tricks like masking fluid, blotting, salt, and even a little rubbing alcohol. It's simple, beginner friendly, and really relaxing to create. So here is what I'm using today. I am not in my regular studio, so I took this travel kit with me. It's Aquafine by De La Roni, and I have had it for years, but I really enjoy using it. I also have some salt and some pens, a black fine liner, a couple different sizes, a white marker, gel pen, and a Posca pen. And I'm using some masking fluid. And make sure you also have rubbing alcohol. I did not show that. The paper I'm using is approximately 5 by 7 and it's 100% cotton, but it's a very cheap pad I got on Amazon. So starting out with the masking fluid, and I'm using the handle of one of my paint brushes there, and I'm just creating kind of like I want to say a backward C, but it's not even a C shape. As you can see, almost like a shape of what, maybe a moon, crescent moon. And those are going to be the front parts of the fish. So I'm not masking out the whole fish. So I'm just masking out the front parts of the fish because I want those to be stay white because I want them to be nice and bright. And then I'm adding some splatter. And also, I forgot to mention, we're going to be blotting out the bodies of the fish after we add the paint. So make sure you have some paper towels handy. So after that dries and you have the fish, as many fish you want, I'm taking my watercolor. So I started out with some cobalt blue. I added some ultramarine blue and some viridian. And so I'm just kind of doing a mixture of all those paints. And I'm doing wet on dry right now. And I'll just tell you the colors as I go. Now, if you don't have this kit, I'm sure you probably have some colors that are similar to this. All the colors that I use are pretty basic colors. So I'm just taking, that's about a size, I believe it's about a 12 round. Then I added some, after I did my blues and my little green, I added some cad yellow there, and the yellow mixed with the blues and made that pretty green up above. And then I added some vermilion, and now I am adding some purple lake. Now I didn't add the vermilion, I added the yellow first, so when I added the vermilion, it wouldn't mix with the blue. It kind of mixed with the yellow because, you know, if you do the vermilion with the blue, you'll kind of get kind of like a grayish color, brownish color, muddy in a way. So I just did the vermilion first and added the purple. And I'm just adding more purple as you see. Now what I'm doing is I'm taking a paper towel. So you want to take a paper towel, kind of scrunched it up, and I'm blotting out the paint right next to where that masking fluid is. So that's going to be the body of the fish. The masking fluid is the front, and then the blotting is where the body is going to be. Now, as you see, it does not have to be perfect when you're blotting it out. Just kind of blot it out. And after you blot it out, I'm taking some more paint. So basically, this is wet on wet. And I'm taking some of my, I think it's the cobalt and viridian kind of mixed. And I'm painting some around the front there of the fish and kind of maybe adding, kind of to define the fish a little bit more. I wanted it to be dark, the paint to be darker where the masking fluid is. We're going to take the masking fluid off so there's some contrast there. And now I'm just adding some salt to the bottom and a little bit to the top, not too much. Now I'm taking my brush and I'm blotting out some more paint. So just take a kind of your brush, semi dry. It can be a little bit damp, but you can use a paper towel to make sure it's dry enough to blot up that paint. You want to blot up the paint just around the fish. I'm just creating some fins when I do that and a little bit of the tail. Now I'm taking my rubbing alcohol and I'm took my fine liner brush, dipped it in the rubbing alcohol, and then I'm just putting little droplets of the rubbing alcohol where the paint is wet. As you can see, I'll show you if the paint dries, it won't work. The rubbing alcohol will not make that cool blobby effect if the paint is dry, because basically the rubbing alcohol just kind of pushes the paint away and the water away and creates those neat round blobs, which to me are like perfect for sea paintings. They look like coral or sea anemones. So I'm just kind of adding little drops of that rubbing alcohol to where the paint is still wet. And the thing about this, you can be creative. You can put them, anywhere you want. If you don't like them, you can always paint back over them once it's dry. So just kind of use your imagination and, just blob away. Now I'm taking, so it's dry, of course. So I scraped off the paint and now I'm rubbing off all that masking fluid. And that is what you're left with, or I was left with. So now I'm coming in with my cad yellow and I am painting the front of the fish and painting in the body there where I blotted off some of the paint. And I'm just using a fine liner. But as you can see, where I use the rubbing alcohol, of course, it's bright and yellow, but then the yellow mixes in with where I blotted off the paint, and it kind of creates a muted yellow, mixes with the blue, kind of a greeny color, and I like that. That's why that's why I didn't mask off the whole fish, because I kind of like how that color blends in with the blue a little bit, creates that green, and it also gives it a sense of movement, because where you put the masking fluid and where you're putting the yellow, it's the brightest, right? So it looks like it's kind of towards you, and the fish are kind of swimming towards you. It kind of gives that illusion of movement with the brightness in the front and then the blending of the yellow with the blue in the back creates a little bit of a darker color. So for these fish and for most of the painting, I do use a fine liner. Sometimes I like to use my fine liner and kind of squiggle it around because it kind of gives it a looser look. It's just something that I like to do. If I want to create a little bit of a looser look, I just take it and squiggle it around, and because I don't have as much control with it, because it does have that nice flexible tip there and it's a little longer, so it kind of creates a little bit of a looseness. Next I come in, I wanted to have the fish have a little bit of a more color to it than just that yellow. So I added just a little splash, little stroke of vermilion to each one of their cheeks. The same color that I used to the right there for the coral. And then added a little bit to the fins. And I like the way that the alcohol turned out, but I wanted a little bit more of a contrast to make those pop. So I took my purple lake, and you can use any purple you have. This set came with purple lake, and I'm using my liner brush, as you can see, and I'm kind of just making a little bit of squiggly marks, going around some of those round blobs that the alcohol created to give some contrast, make those stand out. You could use, I think I also mixed a tiny bit, I have some ivory black in that set, and I just mixed a little bit of ivory black in with the purple too to create a little bit of a darker color. And did the same thing with those. I like the way those turned out up there. I thought those looked pretty cool, and I just had some of that blue mixture and purple on my palette and just did the same thing. Just kind of used a little bit of the black in there with it to darken it up to add some contrast. Now I thought, well, this down there, it needs some other piece of coral, right, to kind of balance it out. So I'm still using my liner, and I just used some darker value of the purple that I had and some vermilion mixed in there too, and just kind of created it looks like coral. It could be seaweed. I wasn't sure. Just squiggled some marks and made it look like some kind of underwater sea plant. To me, it looks more like a seaweed than a coral. Just to create some interest down there in that corner. Or maybe something that the fish are swimming to. And now I'm just adding some more color to that background there. I've just added some of the vermilion, another layer of the vermilion. I really like that color with the purple. I think it looks pretty. And then I decided to add a wash to those brown blobs there on the left. So I just took my brush and just kind of went back over that area with a light mixture of the vermilion. So now I come in with my pens. So I started with one of my waterproof black pen markers, and I'm just adding some an outline to the front of the fish, as you can see, just the front. And then also a black eye to each one of those fish, just so they stand out a little bit more. Of course, you want to wait till everything's dry before you add your any pen details. Now, this paper that I'm using, um, I have it. It will be in the description. Everything, of course, will be in the description. I have a link to it on Amazon, and it is very affordable. And I have to say, I really have enjoyed using it. I've started using it probably about a little over a year ago for my practice paintings, just for fun, because it says it's 100% cotton on the cover, and it's I'm guessing maybe not. It's not like like a Fabriano or Arsha is 100% cotton. But it actually reminds me of Meaden's paper if you use that, but it's a lot cheaper, and it does almost just as good a job to me. It doesn't come in a block, unfortunately. I wish it would come in a block. It just comes in, one side that's glued. But as you can see, it works really well with the watercolor and salt techniques. It works well with alcohol. It works well with it doesn't, it's able, colors are able to lift from it. You're kind of able to scrub it a little bit, and it holds up. The masking fluid does not stick to it, and either does tape. And I'll have the link to it in my description, but it's just a great practice. You can even use it, it doesn't have to be for practice. So as you can see, I was taking my pen before I started talking about the paper. I had a fine liner, and I started going over some stuff with my fine liner. But then to me, it looked a little bit too fine, so I'm taking my my pen with a bigger tip there and going over some stuff with my black marker, just so it stands out more. And I kind of like the way sometimes, different size pens look in a painting. If you're using pen work details, it's kind of fun to use different size pens sometimes. So now I've taken my Posca pen and I'm just adding a little bit of highlights to the fins and a little dot by the front there by their mouth, and then I'll also put a dot by the eye. I also did add a little bit of pen detail to the tails there, which I forgot to mention. So now I'm just taking my pen and I'm just going around and seeing where I think a little bit of highlights might look nice, a little bit more white highlights. Now I come in with my gel pen. I just want a little bit of finer, a little bit of details around those areas where I put the masking fluid, and then on the fish too, a little bit of finer. So I use my gel pen instead of the Posca pen. It's got a finer tip. And I like to add pen details, so I'm adding more pen details. But I think it would look pretty good just leaving it the way it is. Now, to me, this painting could easily be done by a beginner. And a beginner doesn't have to add all these details like I did, of course. But if you struggle with doing fish, I think this is a good painting for you to try because it doesn't have to be exact. When you use the blotting technique like I did with the body of the fish, as you can see, it's not exact, and it's just something I think that everybody could do if you're a beginner. And it's just something that's fun and easy. It's nothing that's too rigid or, exactly detailed. So after I add all these details, it is done. There it is. I hope you guys like it and give it a try. Please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye.